This mademediamagazine. This interview with the English teacher, man. Go ahead.
The English teacher. Hi. So, oh my gosh.
So how you doing?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, today was long.
You use any artificial intelligence today?
No, I did not. Oh, actually I did. So, today the kids did like a makeup day because we are like at the end of the quarter. So they, of course they waited until the last minute, so they're all failing. So I opened up a lot of the summative assignments. And so one of the programs that we use is called Turnitin. And so their essays, writing assignments, and stuff like that go through this program. So it is like AI because it detects plagiarism in their papers. And so I guess it does use artificial intelligence in order to scour the internet in order to see if they plagiarized in their paper, if they stole stuff from other people, other websites, if they used a paper that was previously submitted by another student. It finds all types of stuff and highlights it. Oh my gosh, you would not believe the stuff that I've seen. So like the last paper that I told a student that I got from him, it was 97% plagiarized. So basically he only wrote like 3% of his paper. That means probably the title, his name, maybe the date. They have to do APA format, so maybe the page number is his name, my name. I don't know. He didn't write the paper at all.
So artificial intelligence is often used with your students?
Yeah, they use it all the time. I had another teacher who teaches imaginative writing, which is another course for like creative writing. Email me and tell me that be careful with one of my students because he caught him using AI to write his creative writing papers. And so he was like, be careful, because I have him in my English 11 course. And so he was like, check all of his work, double check it, triple check it. And I really wasn't worried because all of the papers, like I said, go through turnitin.com. So
turnitin.com, they gonna find out one way or the other, huh?
Yeah, for the most part. The kids are really good with going through the papers that AI creates and changing all the wording and, taking out the big words and using smaller words, or basically just rewording it and putting it in, paraphrasing, using their own words and making it their own paper. So they're being creative. They're using AI in order to create papers for themselves. So I don't think it's like super bad, but it's a bad thing because they're not thinking for themselves. There's ways to use it so that it's not totally thinking for you. So like if you have an idea and you wanted to develop the idea for you and you put it into, AI, I think that's a good way to use it. I don't think that kids should like stop writing because writing is something that we use all the time. No matter what you do in life, you're going to have to write something. But I do think that AI is something that's beneficial for people.
As a teacher, are you worried that AI might one day take your job?
Not really. No, because there's aspects of my job that a computer couldn't do. The social emotional aspect of my job, I don't think a computer could take that part away. I'm with these kids every single day throughout the week, other than weekends. And I develop relationships with them, like we talk all the time. Other than curriculum, I get to know them as a person, I get to know their likes, their dislikes. I know when they're happy, when they're unhappy. I know when, okay, I better leave this kid alone. I don't think a computer would be able to do that. So, no. As far as curriculum, because we do already have computer-based curriculum that our school uses. So, as far as curriculum, yes, there are already computer-based curriculum programs out there already. So,
I know you done heard already. They using AI in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Drake then dropped the AI diss towards Kendrick Lamar with Tupac. Now, being from the Bay Area, you from Oakland, I'm from San Francisco. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of pissed me off.
Shout out to Oakland.
Shout out to Oakland for sure. What part of Oakland? East
Oakland.
Okay. So that kind of bothered me a little bit. You using a legend Tupac, from the Bay Area. He already done stole lyrics from rapping folk tape. Shout out to Filmo. But I think this AI is going too far. You got the taxis driving without nobody in them, and they're using the taxis for the wrong thing. You got AI could be pulling somebody up for a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like all type of stuff. You got people having sex in the taxi because ain't nobody driving, ain't nobody else in there. It's a whole bunch of crazy stuff happening with this AI shit.
So if we go back to the music, back in our day, people had to actually, write their own music. They had to be able to write it. They had to be able to perform it. They had to.
Are you a Drake fan?
I like Drake.
I know you're a Drake fan.
I like Drake.
Get him.
But I like Kendrick too. I can't. No.
Kendrick run me over with this "Not Like Us." Just simple fact. The mustard beat kind of had the Bay kind of bop to it. You know what I'm saying? And he got a lot of references to the Bay. Like you can't go back to Oakland for using that Tupac shit. But before that, I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I'm not a Kendrick fan. I think I'm more of a Drake fan. Drake, I know what he is, a Milli Vanilli. I know he don't write his stuff, so it's like however he put it together good. You can't deny that. But it's like you said, hip hop. You know what I'm saying? To me, hip hop, rap, drill, whatever. I just feel like you need to write your own bars. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. It's crazy.
I don't know. I didn't really follow the beef like that. I heard bits and pieces of it, and I don't even know why it started.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I just feel like if you don't write your own raps, how are you battling with somebody who does? Like, no competition there for real.
How much influence does hip hop and rap and music have in the high schools?
Oh my gosh. So when the battle between those two started, we were in the car when I heard that Kendrick song on the radio. When they played it back to back.
Hey, shout out to the radio stations out here, man. 3 times in a row, back to back.
They were not playing about that. But the very next day, because we're on a block schedule, so we have A days and then B days. And so the very next day, the kids in my 7th period class, they were like, "Oh my God, did you hear about the Drake and Kendrick beef?" And so we took a little moment because I like to let them talk about stuff that they're interested in. And so I was like, "Yeah, I heard the song," and we talked about it a little bit. And so they rapped some of the bars and stuff. It has a lot of influence as far as literary terms and devices and stuff like that. They're very present in music, and so sometimes we even use music lyrics in our lesson plans. So yeah, they're very present. When I was working in California, we had a whole unit on Tupac. Yeah, we played the document. They won't let us do that out here. Like, our songs have to be so PG, and we have to take out all the curse words and stuff. But in Cali, oh, it was raw.
Yeah.
Oh, we left the curse words in there and everything. It was fun. I wish we could do that out here because I think when they water down the curriculum, they take out the realness, the raw, the everything that the kids are engaged with. They take out the engagement, the lessons. Yeah. And then the kids are like, they're so bored. I'm walking around the classroom, I'm like, wake up, sweetheart, wake up. I know you're bored, wake up. But when it's like something they're interested in and you can see them light up and they're talking about, like the music. When we were talking about the rap beef and stuff, like they were so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, that's what I remember being young. I kind of feel like music helped raise me, just from the albums and stuff. So music is very
well, if you can find something to relate to in the music, then you can, you love it.
Exactly. So
you remember it.
Who's your top 3 hip hop?
Oh my gosh, don't ask me that. I love everything and everybody.
Name 3 of your favorites.
Right now,
No, it ain't gotta be right now. He could be past, legend, or whatever. It ain't gotta be rap. It could be.
Well, I'm not gonna say past.
Okay.
I'm saying right now. Right now, I'm stuck on Bryson Tiller. Okay. I'm sorry, but I am. And I also really like Drake. I like Cardi B. And I like
Big D.
Big D is my number 1. Don't you know? And then I like Megan Thee Stallion.
All right. So, do you feel now, present, like I feel female is really running hip hop, like as far as bar for bar, the beats, music, the songs. I think females at the forefront of hip hop.
So, my I feel like when you look at the world in general, I think females have taken a step forward in everything.
I agree.
I think that females are running shit. I mean, I'm sorry, stuff. Females are on top. Like, we are doing our dang thing. Okay? The school I work at, we have a black female principal, okay, that I work for. And I love it, okay? And I will be there one day.
You have any, what about the school board? School board, is there a lot of African Americans in the school board out here?
They're working their way up to the top. Definitely. I have, in my profession, I've been so proud recently. I mean, just looking around and seeing all of the African American people that are making waves, moving up and doing big things.
Black excellence.
Yes, definitely.
That's what's up.
And like, I was just talking to some of my students today about how many black teachers I had growing up. Yeah. I can count on one hand. I don't even need my whole hand.
I never had a black teacher. I had a black teacher assistant one time.
Yeah.
His name was Maury in elementary school. He looked out for me. He knew I had problems at the house and all that.
I had a black teacher in elementary school, Mr. West, math teacher. And I had a black teacher at Castlemont High School in Oakland, Miss Mabry. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. Miss Mabry is the teacher that made me want to teach English. She made me love it.
What's her name again?
Miss Mabry.
Miss Mabry.
She had me and my sister.
Okay.
Yes. Loved her. And it's crazy because like even when I was in college, I was one of 3 black people in the teacher credential program.
Wow.
One of 3. And then when I came out here, I was like, oh my gosh, is this where all the black educators are hiding? Because there's a lot. Yeah. In California, there's not a lot at all.
they failing our kids in California. They need to get it together. You know, because I really feel like, especially in the black community, you gotta have black teachers, because like not to be on no racial shit, but like other races don't understand really our life, and you know what the stuff we go through is different from them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta approach it different. You know. So.
There are different ways to connect to different people, and it's not even about how you were raised, how you grew up, and how you know, communicate with someone, but it also is, because you have to know how to approach someone. And part of teaching is communication, and part of learning is listening, understanding, and communication as well, because we have a term in education. It's called metacognition. It's about how you monitor your own learning, and it's about stopping, asking questions. It's about you basically in control of your own learning, and that's where eventually we want all of the kids to become. We want them to become in control of their own learning, and that's what I strive for all of my kids to become, is in control of their own learning, and for them to become forever learners. And I don't expect them to come to me with all of this knowledge. I meet them where they are, and I just want them to improve. And I think that's why I have a lot of success with my students. People are always like, oh my gosh, like, why do they love you so much? Why this, why that? Because I'm super easygoing. I'm not like a lot of the other teachers. They're like, oh my gosh, you're not the typical English teacher. No, I'm not, because I know that everybody is different. I know that everybody learns different. We have a term called differentiation. And a lot of teachers are like, oh my gosh, I have 40 kids. I can't differentiate learning. Yes, you can, because you take the time and you sit with each child, and it don't matter how long it takes. You sit with each one of them, you figure out what they need, and then you help them in some way, shape, or form. And it doesn't matter if they only take away one thing from your classroom, they take away something. And I always tell them, I'm like, you're gonna remember me forever. And they all, I don't care if it's just one or two of them, they come back because they remember something. And whatever it is that they remember, they come back. And they're like, yeah, you did this for me, or you did that for me.
That's saving our youth right there. This is a true hero that I'm interviewing right here, a hero, you know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Now let's get on to immigration. You know,
Immigration,
yeah, that's a hot topic right
yeah.
now. It's a lot of people migrating. You know, out here, do you get a lot of women in your school?
Maybe.
You want to know?
Mm-mm.
So
if I did know, I wouldn't say anything.
Yeah. So I say that because it have to be some sort of language barrier if they coming fresh from out there. You know.
I have had foreign exchange students.
Okay. Foreign exchange. I mean,
I've had students with language barriers.
Yeah,
I speak a little bit of Spanish.
I know you do.
So I can communicate with them.
Yeah. But what about for, like, so all the teachers got to have a little bit of Spanish?
No. I learned on my own. I mean, I learned some in college, but I also take the initiative to, like, you know, try and communicate with them.
Education, but at the same time, like, if they in there and don't know what you're saying,
so I let them use a translator, so they always have their phone available. So, like, the kids are not allowed to use their phones during tests. or exams and stuff like that. But if they have a language barrier, they're allowed to use their translator no matter what. So they have that no matter what. I translate the text, so I give them both the English version, the Spanish version, or whatever language it is that they speak. Usually it's Spanish. And then I speak slowly, try and use TPR, which is total, body and stuff. Use just hand signals and pictures and different things so that they can understand you. And then they also have, we have Spanish teachers. They have like a special classes, kind of like study skills, where the teacher helps them throughout the year, especially if they're new to the state and like they're fresh here, so they don't know any English at all. So they have some supports put in place for those kids, but for the most part, it's just like they're dropped into, But usually they pick up the language really fast.
With the Mexicans, like they handle business.
But like I have this one student right now. I just love her so much. She is so awesome. She came to me at the beginning of the school year, and I teach at the after school program because I try to help out in any way possible. So we have credit retrieval programs. So those are kids that are deficient in credits, and so they need extra help in order to catch up. So I teach the after school program too, so then I can help them catch up so they can graduate on time, so that way they don't get left behind. So this girl comes into my classroom, and they don't just send them. They have an escort bring them, and they let you know this kid doesn't speak any English, but they're going to be in your class, so that way you know. So I sat her up front so she can be close to instruction. And so she came to my class, and I'm like, hey, and I try to be cute and funny and stuff, and she's looking at me like, I do not understand what you're saying. I'm like, don't worry. So she would give me her phone, and I would type in there whatever I wanted to say to her, and then I would give it back to her, and then she'd read it, and then she would type what she wanted to say to me and give it back, and we would communicate like that for a while. And then I told her, I said, okay, we can do this, but I'm still going to talk to you, and I need you to try to talk to me too. So she did eventually when she felt comfortable, because with language, like, it's all about being comfortable. And once you're comfortable, you learn a little bit faster. So come to find out, after school, these boys were coming after school like every day, and they were doing credit retrieval, and they were seniors, and they had to make up all these years of English, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you guys are busting out these classes so fast, and I'm congratulating them. I'm like, oh my gosh. And this one boy, he spoke English like it was broken, but he was speaking, and he was helping the other two boys. And he said one of the boys had the same last name as the girl in my class. She's 11th grade and they are 12th grade. And I was like, wait a minute. I said, do you guys know her? And they said, yeah, that's his sister. I was like, oh my God. I said, I love her so much. And we just had this moment. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, my people. Okay. But like, the language doesn't stop the connections is why I told that whole story. Like, the language barriers, it doesn't stop the connections from still being formed. And her work, even though she doesn't speak the language, is like some of the best work that I get from all of like 200 of my students. Like some of the best work. Like, yeah, super smart. English or no English. So she takes the work from her native language, Spanish, and then she translates it into English, and then she does her work in English, and so she's doing like double work and still doing some of the best work in the class.
Shout out to her. That's what's up.
Yes.
That's when we get teaching. That's all that is. Good teaching. But yeah, man, this Media Magazine. You know, we're gonna definitely do some more talking. Wow, 25 minutes. That's good. So, yeah.
I talk too much.
Yeah, you good.